Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. You may have heard the term the Great Resignation. Well, that means that millions of people across the country have quit their jobs or are quitting their jobs, thousands in New Hampshire, and it's still happening. But there's a new term. It's called quiet quitting. And that's something employers are having to deal with now with their employees. And we'll get to that in a minute. But first, the Great Resignation. 4 million Americans quitting, resigning jobs each month in 2022. 3.98 million Americans left jobs each month in 2021. 21,800 plus have quit, resigned, or jobs in New Hampshire so far in 2022. And the issues are job insecurity, failure to recognize performance, poor response to COVID, better work-life balance, higher pay and child care, and now quiet quitting. That's more recent, and it's different. It's not resigning your job, it's doing your job, but not doing anything extra. It's not letting work take over your life. With me to walk through what's happening in our labor force, especially quiet quitting, is attorney James Reedy, who is chair of the Labor Employment Group at Shane Finney Law Firm in Manchester, Concord, Portsmouth, the Upper Valley, and Boston. Welcome, Jim.
Thanks so much, Fred.
Jim, you have a lot of contacts with businesses in your practice. How extensive is quiet quitting in the workplace right now?
I think, and we've surveyed that recently. I think the answer is it depends upon the workplace, but more and more employers are noticing employees not putting the extra effort in and focusing more on work-life balance.
This must be one of the fallouts from the pandemic.
Yeah, I think it definitely is related to COVID. COVID, for a number of reasons, caused people to re-examine their work life, the trajectory, the career path, and what was important to them.
Well, quiet quitting combined with the continued resignations doesn't help businesses facing a large number of vacant positions, especially in retail and hospitality, which are important to New Hampshire.
Yeah, I think locally in New Hampshire, we're ranging around 2.4 to 2.5% unemployment. That's really low. And labor participation rates around 62%. So employers of all types and sizes looking to fill positions for sure. And then, so the question is, therefore, for some employers, is a C average good enough? For those that are quiet quitting, is it good enough and not putting the extra effort in, or do employers need more?
Yeah. What are you hearing from your employers? Now let's go to one graphic here. I know which you shared with me. Here are a few of your suggestions of what businesses can do for those who may be quitting or thinking about it. Survey the workplace, review production productivity statistics, look at overtime expenses, watch for melees, incentives and rewards, and recruit new talent. Anything else?
Yeah, I just think that in that some of the subsets are surveying the workplace, what's important to your employees. And then, yes, having managers and supervisors looking at the employees, getting signs of malaise or that quiet quitting, and focusing on, if you're surveying them, on things like what's important to you: wellness, more PTO, unlimited PTO, a better office space, a hybrid work arrangement, or fully remote.
Yeah. Quiet firing, you think that's coming?
I do think there was a survey done recently of CEOs, and over 6,000 surveyed said that within the next 6 months, there could be significant job cuts coming. So for those that are quiet quitting, they have to look at themselves and determine, am I going to put myself in jeopardy in this position?
Yeah. It's quite a time in the workforce across this country and in New Hampshire. My thanks to James Reedy. James Reedy, chair of the Labor Employment Group at Shane Finney Law Firm in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And if you missed part of this briefing on the Great Resignation and quiet quitting, you can go to WMUR.com, where it will be posted later today and all this week.